Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday evening Louise gathering. I think we're calling it our Thrive Thursdays. This is where we heal, we grow, we shine. Again, hello to anyone and everyone signing in now, those of you who will be watching us later. This is our time, our sacred time, where we come together each week to reconnect and to step deeper into our healing journey. Whether you're here joining us on Zoom, as most of you are, or tuning in throughout the week, the rest of the day on Facebook, YouTube, or catching up with us later, we're happy to have you with us. You are exactly where you need to be. Perfect place, perfect time, all the time. This gathering is more than just a class. This is a community. It's a space that we create for healing, a moment where we are reminded that we're not alone. Every single Thursday, we meet not just to learn or to listen to a lecture about self-healing, but to give us an opportunity to connect with one another and to practice and to remember, to embody it, and to live the teaching. From the very foundation of this teaching, we have upheld one essential truth, and that truth is that healing is possible and that it always starts within us. And you've heard me say this many times before. In truth, there's nothing outside of you. And that's a very deep metaphysical concept, and one that takes a little bit of time to fully grasp. We begin with the understanding that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual world, a spiritual system that's constantly responding to us. So here we are at First Church, where we don't just teach ideas, we teach you how to use ideas. We give you a practice, something you can utilize. Every single gathering, every class is designed to help you activate the power that's already within you, or as Louise would say, deep at the center of you. There is this power. And we're hoping you recognize and learn to recognize how it's responding to your thoughts, your beliefs, your energy. This very place, First Church, as many of you know, was the home of Raymond Charles Barker, author of The Power of Decision. He was a pioneer in New Thought. He happened to be a teacher here of Louise Hay. Of course, many of you are here because of Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life. And Louise took her courses right here at First Church. She built her entire legacy on what she learned at First Church. Her teaching, our teaching, her life work began with this very simple philosophy. Louise said healing is possible. And she went on to say, but it requires something from us. And what she was talking about, it requires a yearning or willingness, a desire to step into a better experience. I believe that Spirit is always here, always within us, nudging us, wooing us, moving us, guiding us. And as we listen to that voice within, we open ourselves up to new ideas, better ideas. And as we allow ourselves to think in more expansive ways, as we allow ourselves to think in a greater capacity, healing happens when we get ourselves out of the way. Louise used to say it's all very simple. And she didn't say it's all very easy. She said it's very simple. That's a different idea, of course. Not simple. I got to back it up. Before we begin, I want to share a reflection, a reminder that healing isn't something that we chase after. So often we think healing will come in the future, our good will come down the road, or something will happen when we finally get better, or we fix ourselves in some way, or when we figure it all out. But what if that's not true? What if the healing isn't somewhere that we arrive at in the future? What if it's something that is unfolding within you right now? I found a poem that I liked this week. The poet is Garima Sharma, and she beautifully captures the essence of trusting the process of life that Louise spoke of so often, trusting that you are transforming. And the poem starts out like this. Healing is not a distant place, not a destination we arrive at. It is the path itself. It is every breath, every moment we choose to soften instead of harden. Every moment we choose to be open instead of close. It's the quiet unfolding of grace within us, reminding us that even now, yes, even now we are whole. So let's take that in for a moment. Healing is not something outside of us. It is always, and it's already happening right here, right now. What if, instead of striving for healing, what if we simply allowed it? So today, this evening, we're going to do more than talk about healing. We're going to step into it. We're going to practice it. So to honor this community, before we begin, I want to take a moment to honor each and every one of you who are here. Whether you are joining us tonight feeling strong and radiant, or maybe tender and in need of support, this space is for you. And by the way, if any of you are new, please let me briefly tell you what's going on here at First Church. Wednesdays at 7, Jimmy conducts our Creative Living series, which is wonderful. Wednesdays, we take deep spiritual principles and apply them to our daily life, whether we're handling stress or transforming relationships or navigating change. Wednesday evenings are about putting these ideas into action, because spirituality isn't something just that we study, it's something that we live. And then every Sunday at 10:45, we begin with a meditation, a sacred pause to quiet the noise of the world and center ourselves. And then we receive an inspirational message designed to uplift and guide us for the week ahead. And that brings us back to where we are this evening, our self-healing class. So, well, we've been calling this class the Louise Hay class. Sometimes you'll see it advertised as Thrive Thursdays. Whatever we call it, it's our self-healing class on Thursdays. This class has been running for years, and I'm going to tell you something. You won't find a longer running Louise Hay self-healing class anywhere. It's a special time for us to gather, to heal, and again to affirm the truth of who we are. It's a time for us to support each other. And let me say this. This healing isn't just about listening to a lesson every week. If you're able to stay for the second half of our gathering, we open up the microphones, we turn the cameras towards you for your sharing time, for your reflections, and a real conversation. Because again, healing isn't just an idea. It's something that we experience together. This isn't my night as a teacher. This isn't Louise Hay's night either. It's our night. So if you're new here, take a deep breath, settle in, know that you're seen and valued, you're welcomed. And please, as you're listening to people share, don't compare yourself to anyone else's journey. We're all on a journey, and we're all in the perfect place. We're all expanding, evolving, growing at our own pace. For those of you who tune in every week, and I know there's a large number of you who do, I see you, I thank you, I honor your dedication, the dedication you have to yourself, to this work, and to the center. Thank you for all your support as well. Some of you already know, we go deep, we laugh, sometimes there are tears, but always, we walk away lighter from our gathering. We walk away freer and more connected. So wherever you are today, whatever is going on in this moment, whether you're in a good place or if you're maybe not such a good place, whether you're exhausted, hopeful, uncertain, whether you're going through something painful, or maybe you're feeling inspired and ready for the next step. Wherever you are, know this. You are exactly where you need to be. So let our hearts be open together. Let's take in a few affirmative ideas. Let's breathe in, take a deep breath, and center ourselves into this moment, allowing ourselves to step into this awareness, knowing that you are one with this loving energy of life, one with the one, You're already connected with it, to it, and let yourself feel that connection that you have with Source. Today's theme is the heart of your power. And this is what we're stepping into right now, deep at the center of our being, the heart of our power. And now we're going to begin to take a journey of healing, growth, and transformation. Are you ready? Let's begin. I've always been drawn to the importance of being here now. So, not being in next week, not being in last week, not being in the future, but being here. Years ago, I read a book by Ram Dass, which was entitled the same thing, Be Here Now. And that book and that idea has stayed with me ever since. It's many years now. And I realize everything that we seek is already here within us. So be here now. In this moment, whenever I start looking into the past, stay here in this moment, because whenever I start looking into the past, lamenting anything, wishing things were different, or any of that type of thinking, it takes me right out of this wonderful present moment. And Louise often reminded of this with one of her most famous statements, where she said, the point of power is always in the present moment. So let's think about that for a moment. The point of power isn't in yesterday. It isn't in the past where you had some awful fallout with someone. It isn't in any grievance. It's not in the future. It's not in next week. It's not when something happens in the future. The point of power is here and now. It's what we have right now. It's what I call the glorious new moment. We got to keep bringing ourselves back to the now whenever we find ourselves going into the past or into the future. The point of power is right here in this new moment, this glorious new moment. Now, many of us get caught up in the past. We rehash old grievances, old hurts, old regrets. We start, what if this had happened, if I had only done this, or if I had only done that, or they had only done this, and it's really terrible when we do it, but we do it. And others will do it another way. They'll project their fears into the future. They'll find themselves worrying about things that haven't happened, and in many instances will never happen. But your life, your power, your ability to heal is all happening in the now. So this is where change can happen. This is where change begins. This is the place we want to bring ourselves to. I remember when I was first introduced to this idea, it sounded simple, but I certainly struggled with it. My mind was all over the place, going to yesterdays, to the mistakes I made, to the grievances that I had, to conversations that I wish had gone differently. Now, have you ever found yourself ruminating, going over and over again in your head something that's happened in the past? How you let yourself down, or how someone else let you down, and just has the ability to pull you right the heck out of the here and now. Maybe it was a conversation you had 6 months ago or 6 years ago. See, that's the type of stuff that takes us out of the here and now, takes us out of the beautiful present. And I think all of us have done it. Maybe you won't let yourself do it anymore. Maybe you're not doing it anymore. Maybe you've done a lot of work on yourself and you just say, stop, I release this, cancel. I think I've given you all my tricks. Cancel, stop in the name of love. Maybe you won't let yourself do it anymore. So we want to train ourselves as much as we can to bring ourselves back to this moment, right here, right now, right? And some of you might have a tendency to be racing ahead. And that's kind of too bad in a way, because it prevents you from enjoying the moment where the beauty is. Beauty is always here and now too. So you have a tendency to be racing ahead. You're always worried about the next thing. When you're doing that, you're really not letting yourself enjoy the present, the people, the beauty that's right here, right now. So I don't know where you are, where all of you are with all of this, but I had to learn to keep bringing myself back to the now. And this isn't something, this isn't something that we just learned from Louise. This idea is found in many spiritual traditions. In the recovery world, of which I have been a part, there's an acronym which standing for FEAR, F-E-A-R, and it spells out false evidence appearing real, each initial. False evidence appearing real. So how often do you live in that false evidence where we're creating worst case scenarios in our minds, and before we know it, we're feeling anxious, or we're feeling overwhelmed, disconnected, dismayed. We're not feeling connected with our power when we have all this fear going on. And when that happens, we lose the very thing that can help us. We lose our ability to be present. When we're all caught up in fear, we lose, again, the very thing that can help us, our ability to be present. Louise always brought it back to this simple yet important truth. The point of power is always here in the present moment. No matter what's happened in the past, no matter what might unfold tomorrow, your power is here right now within you. Now that we understand the power of this moment, let's move into something even deeper. Let's move into the idea of how we work with this power to heal. Louise gave us a simple but life-changing process, a step into healing. I remember it this way. Three sentences. Feel it, free it, and fill it. I don't know if you've heard that before. I'll say it again. Feel it, free it, and fill it. See, I don't believe in stuffing feelings. Louise didn't either. She would encourage you to feel what you need to feel and free it, fill it up with something else. So let me walk you through it. Step one, again, feel it. Take a breath. You could close your eyes if you want to. Ask yourself, what am I carrying right now? What am I carrying? Maybe it's a quiet whisper of doubt, a thought that I'm not enough, or I'm not too good, or I'm not too smart. Just what negative thing are you carrying? Maybe it's a thought that you've made some grievous or big mistake. Maybe it's a regret. Maybe it's a thought that I should have done this or should have done that differently. Maybe it's exhaustion, where you say, I'm so tired of trying to do this or that. Maybe it's a memory replaying in your mind, something you said or something you didn't say, something that's just looping around like a song stuck on repeat. Whatever it is, don't push it away. Notice it. Acknowledge it. Name it if you can. This moment of recognition is powerful. Feeling it is not a weakness. It's the beginning of healing. That's something I learned in 12-step programs, which is to face it, to walk through it, acknowledge it. Louise would have suggested or said, feeling it is not a weakness. It's the beginning of healing. Too often, we try to push down our emotions, pretending they're not there. But emotions don't dissolve just like that when we ignore them. They have a tendency to linger, waiting for us to finally listen. So right now, in this moment, we listen. We feel it. We allow whatever it is there to be seen, to be felt. Because when we feel it, we begin to free it. Again, when you acknowledge it, when you begin to feel it, you can free it. So the next step is free it. Yes, let it go, free it. So let's take a breath in and picture whatever it is that we're holding, whether it's an old belief, an old pain, a story, a sadness, whatever it is. Think of it as a balloon in your hand. Your fingers are clenched tightly to it, the string. Maybe you've been holding on to it for so long you don't even realize how tight the grip is. But now imagine loosening your hold and letting it go. And in your mind, watch it drift upward, rising higher and higher into the sky, growing smaller and smaller and lighter until it's just a speck in the horizon, a speck in the distance. Now, in that open space, let's replace it with a healing statement. You might say to yourself aloud or whisper to yourself, I'm enough, just the way I am. I'm okay, I'm enough. I release the need to prove myself to anyone. I release the need to prove myself even to myself. I'm safe, I'm loved, I'm supplied, I'm supported. And taking another deep breath and really take all of that in. I'm supplied and supported. And so it is. And now we go to the third step, which is filling it in. Fill in something. Because once you release something like that, we don't want to have an empty space. We want to fill that space with something beautiful. Fill it with love. Fill it with truth. You could say with me, I'm worthy of joy. I love myself. I am worthy of joy. Not someday, not when I've accomplished everything. I'm worthy of joy right now. So when you finally it's not when you've finally fixed everything in your life. I'm worthy of this right now, as I am. So picture in your mind's eye, picture yourself laughing with someone who loves you. Picture yourself walking outside, feeling the sunlight on your skin, knowing that simply being here is enough. Picture yourself next, standing in front of a mirror, putting a hand over your heart, saying, I am safe, I am loved. And let that settle in. Let that become real. You might picture yourself saying, I love you, just the way you are. Picture that and let that be real. These aren't just nice thoughts. These thoughts are fuel, they're fire, and they're yours to claim. So let's take these ideas into our hearts now together and realize that healing isn't just an idea. It's something we experience in real life, in real moments. And to help bring this home, I want to share a couple stories with you that I put together for today, starting with Daniel. Now, Daniel happened to be a nurse, someone who's been with us for a long time, showing up, listening, nodding along with our affirmations. But inside, as I remember, he described himself as running on empty, working 12, 14-hour shifts and never taking breaks, always putting other people first. And deep down, he was carrying this belief, I can't stop. If I stop, I won't get it done. I'll let people down. One night after being in a class and listening, it was a class like this, something changed inside of him. He took a deep breath and he came to the realization that he really needed a rest. He was exhausted and he was doing too much. It was a turning point of sorts. And he admitted to himself, and then he shared it later, that he deserved rest, a rest. Now, that might not seem like a big or radical deal to many of you listening, but it was a big deal for him. It was everything. And then he did the unthinkable. Again, a big deal for him. He took a day off and he went hiking. He took off for a day or two, breathing the fresh air. And he felt something that he hadn't felt in a long time. And that something was relief. Now, I remember the last time I spoke with him over the phone. His voice was different. He sounded happier. He sounded stronger. He said, I realize at last that I'm more than my occupation, more than what I do. And he was saying, what I do is important, but he said, I am more than that. I'm more than being a nurse. I'm enough. And so he really started to understand and gain some perspective. And as he did, everything began to change. So the truth is, rest isn't a luxury. Rest is a necessity. So we want to learn from Daniel. So let's pause right there. How many of us on the call or who are listening this week realize that you're running on empty, believing you've got to keep going or you're going to disappoint someone? Let's take a deep breath in. Let that really sink in. If you think you're doing too much or you're running on empty. And if you are, here's an affirmation or a release. You could say to yourself, I now release the need to prove my worth through exhaustion. I now release, again, the need to prove my worth through exhaustion. And I realize I'm worthy of rest, I'm worthy of renewal and balance. Again, I'm worthy of rest, I'm worthy of renewal, and I'm worthy of balance. Healing asks something different of us. It asks us to listen. It will ask us to pause and to give ourselves kindness. It'll ask us to give ourselves the kindness that we so easily give to others. So now, let me tell you about one other person. Her name was Aisha. I can never say it exactly right. I don't say it the same way each time. Anyway, she worked in retail. She worked long shifts. She was always on her feet. Customers were always snapping at her. And she felt stuck in that job. She felt like life was happening for everybody but her. And one night she made a decision, much like the previous person. Instead of numbing her frustration, she let herself feel it. And then, eventually, when she got sick of it, right? She get sick and tired of it, right? One night, she allowed herself to really feel it. And then she freed it with a single powerful statement, which is, I'm open, I'm supplied and supported, and I'm open to a new path. She didn't know the path, but she declared, I am open to a new path. And this little declaration, this shift that she had, started to change everything. She started soon thereafter taking an online course, and it was graphics and designing. She just took it for an hour or so a week. And she'd always be studying during her breaks, and that gave her something positive to do and to look forward to. And during her breaks, she'd be doing sketches, dreaming up logos. And as the story goes, a month or two later, she landed her first freelance gig designing logos for a small company. And she told me later, it felt like I was breathing again, like I had wings that I didn't even know were there. So let's take that little story in for a moment. These aren't just stories. These are real people just like us. And every single one of these folks made a choice to feel, to free, and then to fill, right? So now I turn the choice over to all of you. What are you ready to feel? And it comes from feeling a point in your life where you feel you're stalled and your life is yearning to express itself in a different way, in a bigger way. What are you ready to feel? What's the next thing? What are you ready to free? And what will you choose to fill your heart with in its place? Notice what comes up for you. So let's take a deep breath together. Let's know right here, right now, in this sacred moment, let's know something together. Let's know that, I'll do it in the first person. Let's know that I am powerful. I am worthy. I'm enough. And let's say I trust that life is unfolding perfectly for me right now. This is more than just a moment when we do this. This is a shift. And then we carry this truth forward, not just for tonight, but for every single day. So let's anchor this all in before we close. Let's take a moment to absorb what we've explored together. Today's gathering, we talked about stepping into our power. We've talked about healing in the present moment. We've talked about feeling these feelings fully, not avoiding them, but feeling them so we can free what no longer is useful, so we can free what is no longer serving us, so we can fill ourselves with love and trust and the truth. But here's the thing. We don't just leave these ideas behind when we log off this evening. This work doesn't just stop here. We're always working this teaching. It begins here. We are, after all, practitioners. Healing isn't a one-time thing. Again, it's a practice, a daily choice. Again, as I said a moment ago, we are practitioners. And the beautiful thing is, we don't have to walk this path alone. We're all in this together. It's really a joy that we can come together 3 times a week. So tonight, you might place your hand over your heart or imagine yourself doing so. And just for a moment, as you breathe in and out, feel the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. Feel the life pulsing within you. Take a deep breath and let yourself receive this truth. Say to yourself, I'm safe. I'm loved. I'm exactly where I need to be. It's very easy to forget this because we all get caught up in what's missing and what's next, what's uncertain. But now, right here, right now, in this breath, you have everything you need. Again, I'm safe. I'm loved. I'm exactly where I need to be. And as I say that, as I know that, trust comes in. Letting go and leaning in, trusting life, trusting yourself, trusting that the universe is always working for your best. Even when you can't see how, we know that it is. We know that there's something powerful that's happening. It happens when we stop resisting and we start allowing it. When we stop trying to force and we begin to trust more and more. So I'd like you to think of something you've been holding on to, something you've been trying to maybe control a little, something you've been trying to fix or figure out. So let's take this deep breath one more time and say, I release the need to worry. I release the need to control. I trust that life is unfolding perfectly. I trust again that life is unfolding perfectly. And I'm open to unexpected blessings. I'm open to unexpected blessings and good. Feel the shift within you. Imagine now what it would feel like to let go of all the weight you've been carrying, to release the tension in your body, the overthinking in your mind, the concern, the fear that's been holding you back. Because again, here's the truth. You were never meant to do this alone. Life is always supporting you. The path is always being made clear. In uncertainty, even when the answers aren't visible, trust always that something greater is at hand and guiding you, wooing you. So let's take in yet another breath to anchor it all together and affirm with me, I'm held by the universe. It's safe for me to surrender and trust. I'm always supplied and supported. So let's seal it all in with a prayer. And here it is. I affirm and I declare that there is one infinite presence, one power moving in and through all things. It's guiding, it's supporting, it's unfolding. It's unfolding the highest good in each of our lives. Right here, right now, I recognize that we are each individual, divine expressions of life itself. We're whole, complete, infinitely loved. I affirm that whatever healing, clarity, or insight that was needed this evening has already begun to take root. Take a root in our hearts and our minds. I trust that the wisdom of the universe is flowing effortlessly through each and every one of us, revealing answers, opening doors, and making the way clear. I know that each person here is exactly where they need to be, and that every step forward, unfolding, is doing so in the perfect divine way. So with gratitude, I release these words, knowing that they are already fulfilled, and so it is. So now it's our time to share. We have a couple minutes for all of you. You can raise your hands or we'll call on you. If you have a phone that just says iPhone, it'd be good if you typed in your name, or if you can't do that, raise your hand or something. If you're new, say that you're new. This is your time to reflect, to express, to connect with us. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply to show up and just share. So I usually ask the question, what has it been like being you this week? What's come up for you? What's been on your mind? What are you releasing? Whatever it is, feel free to share it. So thank you all. And so it is. We'll see you in just a moment.